Alright, so I have 66 days to fill up this entire canvas and prove to myself that I am better than Little Bunny. I've gotten good at drawing 2D women, but my 3D drawings looking like they on life support. So my goal is to see just how good I can get at drawing 3D characters. Okay, so here's the plan. I will draw 50 or more of whatever this pointer lands on.
And I can literally just feel someone praying for hands. I don't even want it to roll over hands. Stop. I'm not so sure how to feel about this.
Alright, so I decided I need to do some leg study, but I gotta be extra careful when showing you guys this stuff though.
Art books love to flash civilians with their stinky ass nudes.
But basically the most important thing I realized is that the ankle is about 1/4 of the thighs. So now I'm drawing, and I am setting timers here, and then once I'm finished I'm checking my work. But guys, here's one thing I've been seriously having a hard time with.
These cheeks are not it.
And I think I know my problem. Since the pelvis is buried deep into the dumpy, I'm having a hard time understanding exactly where the butt goes. And by the way, whenever I draw a box, it's because I'm simplifying this complicated ass pelvis. But after loads of experimenting, I think the easiest way for me to draw them is to use an oval.
And not gonna lie, low-key right now they're looking like monkey cheeks.
But ladies and gentlemen,
50 legs have been completed.
That is just too many legs.
Someone needs to stop.
And honestly, my sister's fish could draw better lines. So now I'm gonna show you guys what this would look like if I was actually gonna use this for a finished artwork. And I'd say that leg 50's looking pretty nice.
And holy, that took so long.
But one of these days I want to create a manga and upload it to Webtoon, so I know in the end the grind will pay off. But I can't have little kitty and all her friends shitting all over me.
Alright, so I'm spinning. We can land on the torso with all its muscle and stuff. And we got the hands and feet, which no. I called it!
I knew it. That's why I said it first.
Alright, this is too much to look at. Lookin, do me a solid. Just run me over. Alright, I'm gonna have to leave some stuff out. I'm not drawing abs. Flab gang? Obese gang?
Yeah, but really there's just too much. I'll draw the belly button. That's basically the abs. Okay, so I did some study. So this time I decided the best way to practice would be to trace a reference to get a feel for the curves. And then draw it on the side with the timer running. And yeah, yo, not gonna lie. Look at these six I drew. They look so stiff. Like I hung them up on a hanger. So for the next view, I decided I was gonna exaggerate the torsos as much as possible. But guys, the problem for the butts has come back to haunt me. Whenever I draw the dumpy, there is no in between. It's either that milk fed shit or it's pancaked like this one. Alright guys, I've drawn a whole row of torsos now, and yeah, 100% without a doubt, this is the hardest thing I'll do. Getting the torso twist to look dynamic and proportionate at the same time is hard. And I think I need to get better at drawing boxes because I have a hard time tilting them in 3D. Like low-key, I think y'all be hating on hands too much. This is way harder. Hands are easy. This is coming from the person that drew this last video though, so my opinion might be invalid. We'll see. But yeah, not gonna lie, I was starting to get frustrated. But when that happens, you just gotta remember to take a step back and just look at where you've come from. The whole first line looks like a sack of potatoes. Look at number 2. That does not look like a torso. So seeing that was insanely motivating. The ironic thing is I actually drew something equally as trash right after that. I wasn't even freaking trolling either. The timer ended before I could fix it. But when I saw that, I was like, hold up, I'm definitely doing something wrong here. There ain't no way I actually drew this. And after some research, I realized that I didn't know how close the ribs and pelvis were. So I was like, you know what? There might be more that I don't know. And after some research, I realized that I've been using the wrong body proportions the whole time. How did I end up messing that up? I have no freaking idea. And if you don't know, proportions are everything. It's the difference between alien and human. Even if something is a bit longer or shorter than it's supposed to, then your drawing will look abnormal like an alien. Like, we can clearly see the difference. This is not human. Alright, so despite learning that, the timer ended on this. So I was like, no more. I'm done. I have to go back to the roots. I'm just drawing the boxes alone. And I ended up drawing over 50 of them like a madman. So when I came back, the pelvis area still looked horrible. What? And like what? Did her face shrivel up and die? But right after that, I started creating the best torsos I've drawn so far. Look at 32. That actually looks pretty good. But I could still feel something was wrong. Like I tried a pinup pose for the first time, and let's just say that is anything but sexy. But guys, after I drew a few more torsos, that's when I realized somehow, some way, I've been drawing the wrong proportions again. But to be fair, this time it was kind of understandable. Nah, actually no, it wasn't. I have no idea how the freak I messed it up again. I've been watching a couple torso videos, so I probably got the proportions mixed up. It took me 40 damn figures, plus another 50 just to realize this, but it is what it is. And once I came back with the correct proportions, instantly you can see how much better this looks. And finally, I found the answer to what was bothering me this whole time. Alright, so now I started to do some tracing to see how many lines artists used to create the torso, which made me notice a few more bumps. Very subtle stuff, but the little stuff really does count up. And after loads of grinding, on day 13 I ended up with not 50 torsos, but over 100 100, 50 over here, and 60 on this side. I don't know if you can consider these boxmen torsos, but they sure to take a long ass time to make. Wow, man, this joint is already filling up. Yeah, I feel like I'm about to run out of the room, not gonna lie. And look at the improvement with the non-sketchy line. You can see how 50 has a bit more care to it. All right, so I'm afraid now. Both the legs and the torso were harder than I thought. Oh man, it's gonna be feet, isn't it? Oh no. Why couldn't it have been hands? No, wait, I meant to say arms. Okay, so I've been doing some research on feet, and not gonna lie, feet are fucking disgusting. Bro, my feet actually looks 10 times better than every foot image I've run across. I'm not even trolling. Some of y'all been hanging around Tarzan and shit, shooting down deers with bows and shit. So to save you, and especially me, from the horror of feet, I'm gonna use this 3D model from PoseManiacs. Alright, so I've drawn a foot, and not gonna lie, I perfectly capture the ugliness of feet. So here's my goal for feet. If I can make them look like they're actually sitting on the floor in a 3D world, I win. Because feet that aren't correct make a character look like they're floating. Alright, so I've been drawing feet for a bit, and I'm on the 4th one, but jeez, we're already starting to see some progress. But guys, drawing the toes are super fucking unnecessary. All the homies hate toes. Like, when am I ever gonna draw toes? I'm gonna be drawing socks and shoes. But again, I do gotta understand how the feet work, so I'm gonna continue to draw them, just not the toes. Alright guys, let's have some appreciation to the improvement. Look at these ones on the bottom row. Actually, just all the feet that have toes. What would happen is, every time I would be like, why am I drawing the toes? But I would draw them, and then half has them. But there's something that has been killing me this whole time. The undo button. I have literally caught myself undoing numbers. I can't even imagine how many times I undo when I'm drawing something. It's depressing. So I'll be working on that. But finally, after an eternity, I have finished drawing 50 feet, and I've accomplished my goal here. These aren't pretty feet, but you can tell which direction they're pointing. You can see that some feet are walking, some are kicking towards the camera, some are just vibing. That was the goal. I accomplished my mission here. All right, guys, watch it land on faces time. Can we all agree that it's gonna be faces this time? Yeah, no, this joint is rigged. It's rigged. Okay, so I know I've said everything's the hardest, but nah, this is actually gonna be the hardest. Not even trolling. I'm serious. Because I remember whenever I draw faces, the cheeks and the jawline are just so hard to draw. So hard. But alright, I have 2 pills. I could either draw the sorrel head like a good little student, or I can draw an anime girl. And I'm definitely going for the anime girl. But you guys know what? I think I now understand why artists obsess over art style. There's just so many good styles that I don't know who I want to learn from. But in the end, I was like, freak it. You can never go wrong with using the anime that has the best animation. Alright, so this first one was horrible. I made sure to add a time limit on these because I already know I can get carried away and just start doodling for hours. So even with 8 minutes, yeah, this joint is still looking pretty whack. So the second one actually isn't looking too bad. The hair is alright, but not really that correct. And I'm not sure whether or not I should give the faces hair. I think I'm gonna have to save it for later so I don't overload myself. But guys, for some reason, I thought it would be a good idea to draw a face without any construction. You know how I start off with a box and circle all the time? I didn't do that this time. Look how it turned out. This is not good. What is this? Who drew this? It's trash. Everyone always hypes up the hands, but nah, if the face ain't right, nothing gonna save your drawing. Okay, so I've drawn a few faces now, and not gonna lie, these faces are pissing me off. Like number 9 is so shit that her face looks like a toilet. It looks like you can sit on her face. It can't get any worse than that. So I decided to take a break, and I was watching videos on line art, and I ended up watching this cool video with the Neil Adams, a Batman artist in it, and he said that I shouldn't rest the pen on 3 fingers, but I should rest it on 2, and then use the other 2 fingers tips to hold the pen instead. No, not gonna lie, I couldn't find a single person other than him that drew like this, but I was like, he's a legend. Why not try it? You know, why not? And to be honest, it feels a bit easier to make curves and adjust the line weight, so I think I'm gonna stick with it. Alright, so I'm back to the faces with a fresh mind, and you know what? You know what I realized about the face? I don't know anything about it. Like nothing. Like obviously the eyeball is a ball, but I wasn't thinking about how the eyelids are wrapping around this eyeball, and how the iris on the far side when the face rotates will always be a bit more oval and more squished than the closer eye. I gotta draw it like that. I also learned that using curves to break down stuff is horrible, and that lines are way easier to use, because just think about it. That's literally like using a curved ruler to measure. Okay, so I came back to drawing faces, and I decided it would be a great idea to increase the timer a lot, because I need to be taking my time when drawing something as complicated as the face. And now that I've been taking it slow, I actually felt like I was improving and learning. It was actually awesome. And today I spent a total of 5 hours on just 5 heads, but it was insanely worth it, because after I finished each head, I was able to learn so much, and it feels like I'm actually fixing my mistakes, whereas earlier I didn't feel like that. And after drawing loads of anime faces, I was feeling confident enough to switch up the anime. These were some hard angles, but I love these face shots. Not gonna lie, I did the model dirty every time by accidentally turning her into a guy. It was just so hard to soften her features. Like, just look at how curvy her face is. Look at her chin here. How am I supposed to draw that? But look at mine. That ain't Jolene anymore. That's Josuke. But I still like them because of how expressive they are. I think I did a great job of capturing the vibe. But one thing that has been throwing me off is just how big the nose is. The nose is gigantic, so I decided to pull up this bozo to get a better understanding of where the nose was in 3D space. And not gonna lie, this helped completely zero. I think the skill level on this is too freaking high, and all the researching about the nose was boring as hell. I'm glad I did it because when I came back, it was way easier to catch my mistakes. For a good amount of time, I was just winging the nose, but now I know the nose. I think, at least I think. But after practicing the hair, I had finished over 50 heads.
Bro, this joint took forever.
Like, I showed you what day it was, but it doesn't explain how long this took. But it was so worth it. Also, a lot of these faces aren't that bad. I actually like a lot of them.
I think this one's funny. I like the way she's chilling.
I like the way this girl looks so peaceful over here. And she's looking pretty cool. But I think the women that accidentally turn into guys are my favorite.
And wow, I can't believe how bad the first row looks.
But everyone, what is it gonna be this time? Is it gonna be arms, folds? Please don't let it be hands.
It's about to be hands.
Okay, no, it's not. I would have preferred folds, but I guess this is fine. Next time it's a 50-50, and I'm calling it. Hands are up next. But guys, look at his drawing from 2 months ago. This took over 5 hours to draw. But those 5 hours were me mainly watching tutorials. I was just trying to make it as cool as possible. But little did I know, just leveling up one skill would be a whole journey. So once I finish the hands and folds, I'm gonna make another drawing and compare it. And I might try and draw it without a reference. Alright, so arms. They look simple, but nothing is ever as easy as it seems. But you know what? That was a lie, because the arms are actually looking decent already. And you know what I've realized? I should have been learning from drawings this whole time. Especially with the legs and feet. Because with the legs and feet, I was having a hard time simplifying them into simple lines. Also, right now I'm learning from the drawings on Kate Fox's Patreon because I love the way she draws them. But guys, actually arms aren't that hard. But I lied. I've low-key just been making the arms kind of wavy and calling it an arm. Which works, but sometimes it don't be working. So now I gotta study the arm. Also, you probably never thought of it, but whenever you move your hand, your forearm bones are actually twisting. So that's what's been throwing me off today. But yeah, seriously, I have truly underestimated the arms. I thought I could skip over the anatomy, but instead I've just tortured myself. But guys, here is when I realized something game-changing. You notice how I drew the same pose over and over again? I realized that if I master one pose, it's easier to eliminate those mistakes for good, because every pose comes with its own set of mistakes.
But guys, look at this.
Over 50 arms have been drawn, and I think it's safe to say
I hate arms now.
But I am happy with these. I was able to get these arms to look a bit more structured, especially when the arms were bent. That was my main problem. But yeah, I'd say these are looking a lot more structured now.
But holy guys, this is so much.
But alright,
is it gonna be hands? Is it gonna be folds? Actually, God, just please.
Full send a rock through my PC right now. I don't want to know anymore.
No! It's always like this. It's always like this. I ain't even surprised.
Hands it is.
Hands are so hard to draw.
But honestly, the hands I've drawn so far aren't that bad. They're not horrible. They're not like the last time I drew hands. The last time I drew hands, they were awful. And yo guys, it's been a day, but look at the progress. I was drawing these pretty fast and they're already looking solid. And again, I think it's because when I draw the same thing over and over again, look at how many times I drew the same thing over and over again. But when I do that, I'm instantly killing the mistake before it can even happen again. 50 hands have passed by in no time. I spent 3 days on the hands. It's day 33 now. I can't even find a hand to roast.
And you know, it's kind of weird because there's no hands that look like this.
But yo, I think it's safe to say I've gotten better at getting better. My favorite ones are the ones with the guns. I really like those. And I really like how clean this hand turned out.
Oh man, no more naked characters.
Oh well. Also, I was about to say folds are easy, but I literally said that about the arms. So to be honest, I'm not sure how I'm supposed to feel. I think I'm supposed to feel fear. Alright, so I'm drawing these folds, but this time I'm trying to draw a bit more from imagination. I'm trying to use the reference on the side as more of a crutch. And I think that's something I haven't done at all. Like, I think it's gonna come back to bite me, not gonna lie. Because if I can't draw something from imagination, then I don't really know it.
Not gonna lie, I'm just repeating some shit I heard today,
but I'm gonna follow it like law. And not gonna lie, I'm low-key struggling while drawing these legs. I haven't drawn them in weeks, but hey, it didn't turn out so bad. By the way, I was drawing a guy. That's why the dumpy is non-existent, but not anymore. Alright, so right now I'm learning folds from a bunch of different animes. And so I was breaking down these folds and I was like, a lot of these shapes shapes are actually triangles. Some less triangly than others, but still triangles. But then right after that, literally 5 minutes after, I watch a video and it's like, by the way, most folds can be simplified into triangles.
When is it never like that?
But here we have it. On day 36, I finished over 400 drawings and filled up over half the canvas. That is insane.
Yo, never in my life have I drawn anything near this amount.
Like, I don't even think I've drawn more than like 50 things. This is insane. All right, so let me come over here to these folds. And these folds are looking good. Like, you can tell what type of clothing everything is. I think my favorite one is this one with the tight shirt. I like the colors that I use for this one. And the ones towards the end are pretty cool. Simple, but still cool. All right, it's time to set a benchmark. Okay, so for the last 7 minutes, I've been thinking about what I should draw. But really, I've been just sitting here like a toad, thinking absolutely nothing. I thought the blank canvas effect was a myth, but it's actually true. The solution is easy though. You know how rappers need a word to start with something? I'ma need me a word. I'm so smart. I think I just solved world hunger, guys. Okay, so I'm drawing without a reference and I'm gonna set a timer because I feel like this shouldn't take more than 30 minutes. But yeah, I'm rushing like I stole something. But it's so cool because like compared to last time, I understand miles more. But the thing is, I can see just how much I don't know. It is so scary. Okay, so I added another 30 minutes because 30 minutes was totally not enough time. And the timer was not the best idea. You're gonna definitely see that it's kind of rushed, but I still wanted to see what I could do in an hour. But all right, let's see what I drew. Here's the final reveal, and oh my god, it's so decent. All right, I'm gonna keep it a buck. The difference between what I imagined and what I drew in reality is fucked up. So fucked up. But I had fun drawing this, and if I had 5 hours, I'd much rather draw 5 of her than having to watch a bunch of tutorials and draw one person. I can't be mad with this. But don't let Shorty put them dogs out. Them joys bark at you. But moving forward, I know exactly what needs to be done. I thought I climbed myself out of noob hell, but little did I know, noob hell's got 2 staircases. Time for the comeback arc. All right, I'm starting with the hardest first. The face. Maybe not the hardest, but I think it's the most important. This time I'm gonna work on each facial feature on its own. But first, I gotta level up my understanding of 3D. I understand perspective, but I don't understand it as much as I should. And it's crazy because every time I come back to perspective, it feels like I've just opened Pandora's box. And although all the technical stuff at first is hard, once you get it down, it's actually pretty fun. Like, look at some of the stuff I was drawing. Learning perspective doesn't have to be boring. I had fun drawing this little world I got going on. By the way, if you see anything cursed,
My little cousins told me to draw it. It wasn't me.
okay, so here's the process I'm gonna use for learning everything. I'm gonna use a lot of references to learn from, fix my mistakes, then try to draw what I learned from imagination. If I can't do it, then I'll just repeat. All right, so for a good 3 days, I was drawing the same eyes over and over again. Same thing for the mouth. Now you may be asking which ones did I draw from imagination, but exactly, I can't tell anymore. I don't know where they are. I've been breaking them down into simple shapes, so like, I think it's been helping me so much. And like here, I broke the mouth into a triangle and a rectangle. And then if you remember it like that, when there are 2 easy shapes you can memorize, it becomes really easy. Oh, something that surprised me is I kind of like drawing noses now, which I thought was weird, but cute noses can be drawn. But look at this. I should have been used this guy. Actually, I don't think I understood 3D enough to use this, so maybe it's a good thing I avoided it. But yeah, I'm learning a lot more than I thought by drawing these. And my drawings were looking pretty good. They kind of look weird though because they're not shaded, but shading is a whole different video. And not gonna lie, even though this is pretty correct, it doesn't change the fact that it looks like he got hit by a basketball. Them lips are huge. Bro looking like Jamal, a high school lineman. And I love this one because this one looks so sad. All right, so here I wanted to test my skills by trying to draw from imagination. And I spent a good while on it, but you know, I think it turned out pretty well. Oh, but I did forget to drop the eyes because I was trying to make a baby face, but you have to drop the eyes. And you can see like that makes a huge difference. So yeah, I think I'm gonna work on getting better at drawing face shapes and hair. Then I should be chilling. So the first person I wanted to study was SuiSui's faces because I love the way she draws them. But guys, I think I messed up. The eyes I drew are scary. But hey, I think I did pretty good here. It's not too bad. SuiSui, I'm coming from your art style. All right, so here's another face I was drawing. I was mainly focusing on the hair here. And after an hour of messing with it, I was like, all right, time to call it quits. So then I went to just spend some time just staring at hair like an Egyptian monk, just vibing, looking at hair. And eventually I realized, oh, it's wrapping around the head like a ball. And obviously the head is a ball, but I actually gotta draw like that. There are so many slight curves in the hair depending on where the camera's at. Like you gotta be subtle with it. But it's what makes the hair look good and not like a freaking mom. So I practiced once more and low-key looks like her mama slapped a wig on her head. But this hair looks pretty good. The line art is horrible. Also, I thought the hair on this one was pretty cool, but her eyes are a little deep into the eye sockets. I think she's got a lazy eye. Okay, so now I'm practicing hair, but I'm just drawing them as ribbons. But again, as 3D ribbons. Especially focusing on the bangs, because I feel like they're the hardest. And then now I moved on to face shapes. And the face is like the lips. You gotta be so subtle with it. Also, I was using SuiSui as a reference again. And I think I did a good job here. But yo, guys, I like the faces I drew here. They have a bit more curviness and detail to their face than before. But damn, that joint took way longer than I thought. I can't even explain how long this took. But yeah, most of my time was spent working on the face shapes. But hey, this joint is filling up. I love this one, but I messed up her chin. Still looks pretty good though. I really like this one because of her nose. It just looks so cute and tiny. And honestly, I like all the ones on this top row here. They all look much better than the faces I drew before. All right, so let's see what I can do from imagination. Can I draw a good looking face straight off the dome? And I'd say that the sketch looks pretty good. But when I did the colors, I was like, hold up. This joint looks like some devil shit. It's late at night and I'm not trying to revive X. So I quickly changed it to blue and I was like, that's closer to what I imagined. But yo, guys, I'm happy with this. And if I were to critique this, I now notice that the eye's a bit curvy and the neck is in the completely wrong spot. But I think that's all I got. All right, so I thought the second hardest was the arms. And you know, I told myself I'll draw 10 arms. But this is not 10 arms. I'm not even about to count that. Nah, actually I am. 72 arms. Holy. So what I did here was literally draw every single way the arm could look. Static and bent. And bro, that was boring. But I should be chilling now since these blue arms were drawn from imagination. They're not looking too bad. Okay, so I'll be watching a lot of art tutorials, but not gonna lie, half the time I feel like they be speaking a different language, like Artanese. And sometimes I just be rewinding over and over again, being like, what are they even talking about? But recently, I've been feeling like I speak Artanese. It's so weird. And normally for the really good videos, I come back to them multiple times because I always learn new stuff that I never could have realized just a week ago. But I think I'm starting not to need them anymore. It's so sad. But something still ticks me off though. I still spam the undo button faster than Usain Bolt and it drives me crazy. Like I've been trying to stop. But what can I say? The undo button's a drug and I'm sniffing. So I'm gonna try to undo less, but that's a whole ass journey on its own. A painful one. But here's the thing I realized. I always thought I had the pen control of a dog, which it partially probably is. But it's more so that the pros take their time to think about what their next line is gonna be and how it's gonna affect the whole drawing. So basically they have the line drawn in their head before they even draw it. And I tried something similar to that here. The hands were so hard. So I was like, let me practice the boxes, aka fingers on the side. And when I came back, it was much easier. And I've been just taking lots of time to understand what's actually going on. And for all the way up to even the hands. So basically half the video, I've been rushing. And really I found that the reason why I was rushing was because of time gesture drawing. And now that I stopped, I feel like I've been learning so much more. But alright, the hands. I drew loads of hands. Loads and loads of hands. Some look horrible. Well, some of these are looking good. And again, I have nothing to say about the hands. Also, at some point I got bored of drawing hands, so I went to draw some faces, and these are some cool faces. Personally, I really like the top left one. That one's my favorite. But guys, we are seriously starting to run out of room here. Like, look, where am I gonna put these torsos I'm about to work on? I guess here we'll have to do, but it's about to be a struggle to find a spot soon. Once I get the legs, oh no. Okay, so I've been drawing a bunch of torsos, but I low-key can't even draw a star correctly, let alone a heart. I'm not sure how to feel about that, but I kind of like the thing on the side because it makes it look a little bit more 3D. Or I guess you could say I was branding them, whichever you prefer. I also drew one with gills, and I was like, why not give her a big ass fin? I just realized it's pointing the wrong direction, isn't it? All right, so it's day 64, and it's time for legs. And since there's so little time, I'm gonna draw a bunch of legs today. Also, I'm gonna relearn the feet as well, since the legs and feet kind of go hand in hand. But it feels really weird because the last time I worked on legs was so long ago, and right now I'm restudying the legs, but jeez, man, I did not understand anything. I never realized this side is basically straight. I didn't realize how far back the ankles are. Don't know how I missed that. But everyone, we're running out of room. I'm gonna have to sprinkle these legs all over the place just to fit them in, which is already what I've been doing. But guys, wow, this joint is satisfying as hell. Ladies and gentlemen, I think this joint is full to the max. Those legs I've been throwing in here are only fitting because I've been making them pixelated. It's been a good one, but I think it's time to move on. Goodbye, old friend. I'll be coming back to visit sometimes, but you're gonna need to stay in the closet. Oh man, this canvas is so tiny. This is so sad. I think this is where I'll finish my days though. All right, so I was about to draw a cute pose, but then I thought it was funny that she looked like she's falling. But after a while, I was like, she's got some pretty big hips, but something just felt so weird. I had no idea why they were like that. And after like a good 30 minutes of trying to figure that out, I realized it's because I made the legs shorter. And if I make the legs shorter, then the hips are just gonna look bigger. Again, it's obvious when I say it, but you don't know what you don't know. I'm glad I made that accident because I was just thinking, these legs that I tried to make long don't even look that long. It's because I've been making short legs this whole time. And here I drew normal legs. And these are the ones where I drew extra short legs. Probably as short as they can go. I don't want them to go any shorter though. So after noticing that, I drew a bunch of different legs. But yo, I'm happy with these legs. They're all from imagination too. This one looks like some deer legs, but the rest are all looking pretty good, man. I can't believe I had to relearn the legs though. That's so annoying. All right, so we finally come to the feet. And I know I said feet and legs belong together, but the feet are just that important. They can make or break a character. But with that said, I still despise feet. I hate feet with a passion. So I'm learning shoes instead. Okay, so I'm borderline licking the shoe right now with my eyes though, looking at the top, side, top, whatever. And then once I was able to draw the shoes in all the default angles, I then tried to rotate them. And within 2 hours, I learned how to draw shoes. These shoes are looking pretty good. I did go, hey, this leg kind of looks like it's slipping out of the shoe. I should probably go find a reference for that to see what it looks like. But I'm not, because I want to draw a full character already. So after all this hard work, can I actually do it? Can I actually draw a good character with no reference? Or will it end up like last time? And this time, instead of setting a time limit, I'm gonna finish at my own pace and see how long I take at the end. But guys, look at how far we've come. You saw me draw a chicken leg, ugly nightmare feet, a girl that looks like she got hit by a hammer. That was a whole journey. And these are the 2 drawings I'm looking to top. All right, 3, 2, 1. It's Squirtle season. Personally, I wouldn't go like that. I keep my Squirtle the way I keep my chicken. Fried and straight into the greaser. But as we all know, everything always comes back around. So now this girl's trapped inside his family's fridge. R.I.P. And last but not least, we got Anya with the baby squirrel vibing on her head. And wow, man, that was a whole ass journey. And for all of last video and half of this video, I've kind of felt lost, but now I'm hyped. I finally understand how to get better as fast as possible. How to do more in less time, which leaves me free to do so many other cool things, like style, shading. But with that said, make sure to check out my Twitter. I'll be posting drawing updates on there. And guys, I think it's safe to say I am better than little kitty. Don't even need to look at her art. Hold her freaking out.